This is the original place where the koi and the sen used to come and pray for rain. It's a space of peace and healing. Everybody is under the notion that in order for them to make it in the world, they must go to the city and work. So me coming here was to actually shift that narrative of thinking more about self-sustainability and independence, because the nature of this space is that the land can really provide. My name is Bongiwe Lusizi and I'm an Atlantic Fellow for Racial Equity. What I was doing before COVID was what I love to do the most, being with children. And not just being with children, sharing. I like to call it sharing instead of teaching. We made amazing instruments. We had planted the calabashes and then we started learning how to play, and then unfortunately COVID came. When COVID came, I was very frustrated. I was depressed. I'm being deprived from all I can do and what it takes for me to be able to share myself with this community. But then naturally, being a hopeful person, I was like, oh, hey, but what if this is a challenge for me to start thinking differently? So then I would go to the school and just ask for permission just to have 2-3 kids. Taking the kids to the forest to share with them the main importance of connecting with nature. We come to pick up the sticks for making the calabash and bending them. Each person would go to a different tree to cut, so then that becomes naturally a distancing, you know. Then we go back to the garden and then we plant the calabash, and the nature of planting the calabash is that there must be a 2-meter distance between each seed. The grant has enabled new narratives around working with a budget. So instead of us giving out food parcels, we thought about food security. If we could plant something that can grow over time and over again. We are planting the seeds of the calabash. To work with the soil is very healing, you know, and it's their experience of something that within they can be able to use the resources that they have around them, and this can really in the future really boost their economic status, because you can also sell the calabashes. The solidarity grant, it was really helpful. Having people who are really stranded to come and fetch water from the tanks that the Atlantic Institute has supported us with. This has really helped a lot in so many different ways. COVID was really tough. It's been really sad. It was not just a social distancing from a physical space, but it was also finding ways of, you know, social solidarity. And so we came up with the idea of building spaces of healing during COVID. We are in Khabula, Kobo Case Kamauk, and this is community library. We invited men who were not working before COVID-19, and then with the solidarity grant, we started using some of the money just to have them putting bread on the table. We took maybe 5 kids a day from the school to come and help and experience that. And the same team that we use for the natural building are actually the parents for the children. I think the amount of inequalities it's quite huge. Men are still holding, you know, high positions than women, and it's being now passed into the children. I'm trying to balance those within working with the children and the parents so that we see each other as people equal in the same space who want to see the space transform. The idea was that if we start building a natural building, some of the community members could also have a space to share with their children and remain staying hopeful. Building something that you can see it's becoming is healing. Ais, Yanet, Katutu, yay! The pandemic has helped us to look into our resources so that we can be more self-sustainable. The main idea is that we have what it takes. We have all the resources that we need. My calling for children, the basic foundation about it is that start with them while they're still young. And when they get to be my age, they will know exactly what they're fighting for. They will know exactly why they need to preserve their culture, why they need to be comfortable in their own skin and their own melanin. There is so much light, there is so much hope. I can feel it in my heart, I feel it in my veins, I feel it in my blood. I see it in my dreams.